Now in this question, a producer wants to make a panel of 4 reporters by choosing 2 members from red and saffron. So at least one of the reporter must be an economics and at least one are military experts. So the available reporters are from red are Arindam, Rajneesh, Smita, Smart and Indranil, and that from the saffron are Jayanta, Rishi, Indrani and Soumya. Smita, Jayanta and Rishi are economists and Samrat and Soumya are the military experts. Jayanta and Smita cannot be selected together and the same holds true for Samrat and Rishi, Indranil and Soumya. Jayanta can be selected only if Arindam is on the panel. So now let's try to draw this in the particular format. Let's draw the instructions. The people from reds are Arindam, Rajneesh, Smita, Samrat and Indrani. And if we talk about from saffrons, there's Jayanta, Rishi, Indrani and Soumya. So Jayanta is an economist, Rishi is an economist and Smita is an economist. So one person has to be selected from this. Samrat and Soumya are military experts, so one person has to be selected from this, and we have to choose 2 members from each of the group. Apart from that, there are certain more instructions that Jayanta and Smita cannot go side by side, so we are just crossing this. Similarly, Samrat and Rishi, they also cannot go side by side, so we have cross marked on that. Indranil and Soumya can also not go side by side as given in the instruction, and Jayanta will only be in the panel if Arindam is there. So we have just written all the instructions and will be answering the question one after the other based upon these conditions only. Now let's look at the question number 1. Which of the following is not an acceptable panel? So in this panel we have Jayanta, we have Arindam, we have Indranil, we have Smrat. So panel is satisfying all the conditions. We have 2 people from each of the groups. There is one economist, there is one military expert. And now let's talk about the statement B, that is option B. Jayanta, Arindam, Soumya and Samrat. That's again a possible case. Soumya and Samrat are the military expert. Jayanta is an economist and Arindam is one person. So that is possible. With Jayanta, Arindam has to be there. So that's a feasible case. Now in the third part, C option, Rishi, Indrani. Rishi is the economist, Indrani is the person, Arindam is also there, so Smita is also there. So now these 2 people are the economists, and Rishi, Indrani and Arindam do not belong to any of the groups. But we are missing here the military expert, so one person has to be from the military expert has to be there. So this would be the not an acceptable panel. So the answer for this question turns out to be C. Now let's talk about the another question. If Arindam and Rajneesh are chosen from the reds, so we have taken 2 people from the reds, and Arindam and Rajneesh are neither they are the economist nor the military expert. So we need to have one military expert from the other group, and one economist from the group. So the economists that we have are Jayanta and Rishi, and a military expert has to be Soumya. So Soumya would be the person that has to be there, and Rishi and Jayanta can be one or the other could be there. So Indrani would be the one who cannot be selected, because we have looked for who cannot be chosen from the Saffrons. So Indrani is the person. So C would be the option. These people we can select from the group. For the next question, in this part, if Rishi is chosen, which of the following must be true? Now, if Rishi has been chosen from the group, there has to be one person. Rishi is an economist, so one person has to be chosen, and Rishi and Samrat cannot go side by side. So the person, the military expert, has to be Soumya. So one acceptable pair has to be Soumya, that is always there. So Rishi and Soumya have been selected from Saffron. Now let's talk about group Reds, and we need to look for which are the two people we can select from there. So any acceptable panel must contain Arindam. That's not compulsory. We can take Rajneesh and Indranil together, and not Indranil, Rajneesh or Smita. We can take. There will be other possible cases also possible, and there is no acceptable panel which contains Rajneesh. So there is an acceptable panel. We can take Rajneesh, Rishi, Soumya, and Smita. These are the four panels. That is a possible panel. So only one is the correct answer, and the rest will not be true. So that's the answer for the third question. In the last question of the set, how many different acceptable panels can the producer make? So now let's talk one after the other, the panel that we can make over here. The first, let's assume that Arindam is there. So if Arindam is there, we can have Rajneesh from the Reds, Jayanta, and Soumya. So that is one possible panel. The second could be Arindam as it is, Rajneesh, two fixed, Rishi, and Soumya. Third possible case could be Arindam, Smita, Rishi, and Soumya. The fourth possible case could be Arindam, Smita, Jayanta, and Indrani. Fifth could be Arindam, Samrat. Here we have made a mistake. We have to take one more person. Here we can take Samrat as the person. So Samrat has to be there. So Arindam, Samrat, Jayanta, and Soumya is the another person. The sixth could be, let's start with now Rajneesh. Smita, Rishi, and Soumya. Seventh could be Indrani, Soumya, Smita, and Rajneesh. Eighth, Indrani, Soumya, Smita, and Samrat. And another pair could be, ninth could be Arindam, Smita, Soumya, and Indrani. We have to look for these possible pairs. We have to try all the conditions. So the answer for this question will be the D option.